Hi everyone. Giants smacked around Eagles yesterday. Another game that the Eagles were in, and they gave that one away. Made a nice run at the end there. Could have had it. Wentz threw that one little out pass to Matthews. Looked like Matthews obviously turned the wrong way. Why that pass? Why it wasn't more of a post where he's turning the other way? You already had him shielded. And why he didn't go that way, I have no idea. He said it was on him. Peterson said it was more on Wentz, throwing it too far out, which I don't understand why you would put that ball in that spot anyway with the D-back right there. But, Peterson did a great job play calling all day anyway, so what the hell, right? Wentz was 64 quarterback rating, which might be his lowest. He had two early picks, settled in later. They had him throw 47 times yesterday, a couple sacks, a couple rollouts that he had to do that were a little ridiculous. He completed 57% of his passes. A couple things with Wentz. Watching the replays, the balls that sailed on him. Fundamentally with his mechanics, he was on his back foot. You start doing that and then your shoulders tilt, the ball goes up in the air a little bit. Granted, Aguilar didn't help him. That was on the first pick. That's the thing too. Like with these receivers, they're just not going to go up and get the ball. They're not going to fight for it. I am totally shocked that Dorial Green-Beckham has got to be the softest 6'5" player that has ever played the game. He, with his size, when they acquired him, I thought that was going to be really nice. Maybe change of scenery would flip the switch, and he wouldn't be such a shithead. I don't know if the guy's stupid. His route running is lazy, which that's fine. He's still big, so you get somebody big, they can go up and go get the ball. He can't even fight for the ball. He plays smaller than Sproles does, which is hard to believe. Speaking of Sproles, he had 13 carries. Nothing special. He had a couple nice ones. He had 3 catches. So between that, he's 16 times he's touching the ball. Ryan Matthews was missing for most of the game. Then they bring him back out in the fourth. I don't quite understand what the deal with him. Maybe he hurt something. We were joking yesterday about uterus or, a hair fell out or something happened. He had an eye problem the other day at practice. Who knows what's going on with him. I don't know if Duce is making those calls again because I know Chip pointed the finger at Duce all the time last year between him and Murray and Sproles, who was getting the carries. Maybe Duce is still involved there. Maybe somebody's got to look at Duce a little bit too. Smallwood was kind of effective yesterday for the limited touches that he had. DGB didn't touch the ball one time on any passes. He was targeted 5 times, didn't catch the ball there. So we already talked about him. I don't mind being wrong when it comes to players. I project them to be pretty decent. I do it with baseball a lot. Most of the time with baseball, I'm pretty good with that. I could tell you that Borges was going to be a piece of shit all year, and he stole money. But whatever. But DGB is he's a disgrace, absolute disgrace. Looking at this Giants game, I thought that the Eagles could have come in there and taken a score out of there and won that one. Even though they spotted them 14, they still came back. They had a chance. They had a couple of the 4th down conversions that were blown. Everybody's saying now they should have got the points. Well, Aikman and Buck were both saying that the one conversion, it was kind of crazy to go for it, and then they ended up hitting Hurts with a big pass and they converted it. So, whatever. It's easier when they screw up. But there's 2 field goals, and then when they did finally go with the field goal, Sturgis got blocked. So you get those 3. Well, actually the 2, they win that game. But it is what it is. They're 4-4 now. The Atlanta line, it started out at 2.5. Eagles were favorite, which I'm shocked at that. A couple places I was just looking at. One had it at 0, and then a couple are down to 1, and the Eagles are still favored. Which I can't see that happening. I would not be surprised if that's a 2 points for Atlanta at that point. 2-point favorite for Atlanta by game time. Matt Ryan's got 1,000 yards more than Wentz does. Julio Jones, the last time they played, just torched them. He's smoking everybody this year anyway, so I don't know how the Eagles secondary is going to be able to stay with him. They back off, they get beat. A couple plays the other day yesterday, secondary banged into each other, which looked, it was pretty damn embarrassing. Almost like you're trying to lose a game when your secondary runs into each other, and one guy stops the other guy from making a tackle. It looked pretty ridiculous. So I can't see them. This is the most optimistic I've been with the Eagles this year, picking them. I think all but one game, the Pittsburgh game, I think I went with them, and that was one of the biggest shockers. Well, that was the biggest shocker at all. I can't see them winning this game. Although they do have a little thing where they've lost 2 games, come back and won, lost 2 games, come back and won. So maybe that's maybe that trend's going to stay. I can't. I don't know. I just don't see it. I don't see them being able to answer Julio Jones the way that guy he can get out. With his speed, his physicalness, his hands, then he can break a tackle. I mean, Christ, that's 3 things right there the Eagles can't do. Although Treggs it was nice to see him get out there. I've been hearing about him for a while. They utilized him, which was nice. He had a couple catches there, so that's huge. Wentz underthrew him on that big one. I think he probably would have gone in for a touchdown there if he would have been able to lead him a little bit more. Hopefully they can work with Wentz a little bit and get him straightened out. I heard Peterson, all the times he talks about him being an NFL player, which is kind of bullshit because he only started like 6 games. And he wasn't even that good then. Actually, wasn't being not that good is being very nice. He absolutely was trash. So hopefully they can work with Wentz and get him straightened out. Maybe the line can work a little bit. Kelsey he looks atrocious. Although his brother was really funny throwing his tail at the referee yesterday when he got ejected. That was pretty good. But Kelsey, he's got major issues. We'll see what happens. But I can't see them winning this game. I would love to, for them to pull it out and go 5-4, and then take the bigger road with Seattle and everything else, and get back and then take some division games, which they still haven't won a division game yet, which is killing them. But I'm not going to say it's that rebuilding year because it's bullshit. When you start out 3-0, you're expected to go a little bit stronger than what they're doing. They're not doing it. So, enough about that one. So, if my nephew and his friends are watching this, because I got my balls broken at a family dinner last night, which was nice because everybody at the table started watching it on their phone, so it bumped my viewers up a little bit. But, anybody, my nephew's friends there, hey, subscribe, will you? Help me out a little bit. Thanks a lot. See you guys.